Dhanesh, a famous and rich merchant, had only one son, Yashodhar. The child was born when his father was already quite old, and being the only child, was brought up with great care. When he became a young man, his father started thinking about his marriage, but Yashodhar told him,
I will choose my own bride. I want someone who is intelligent. She should also be careful with money and not a spendthrift. After all, she will become the wife of a merchant with a vast business one day. Please give me a chariot, a servant, and 4 horses. I will travel around the country and find such a wife for myself.
His father agreed and gave him the chariot, servant, and horses. Thus, Yashodhar set off to look for a bride. He travelled all over the country, met many women and their hopeful fathers. But whenever a beautiful woman appeared before him, he would say, I will marry you, but first take this bag of paddy. I want you to cook me a meal of rice, dal, vegetables, and curd with this. Only if you do this will I marry you. Whoever heard this strange condition went away without trying. A few tried, but could not succeed. In this way, many months went by, and a weary Yashodhar arrived with his equally tired servant and horses at a small village. There he saw a small but neat hut, and sitting in front of it, an old man and his daughter. The girl was beautiful, with dark, intelligent eyes. Yashodhar was suddenly hopeful. He went to them and told them about his condition. The girl smiled when she heard him and said, Of course I can do it. It is not difficult. Why don't you rest a while and I will get your meal ready? An astonished Yashodhar settled down to wait. Soon he nodded off to sleep. After some time, he felt someone shaking him awake. It was the girl inviting him to lunch. He washed his hands and sat down. To his amazement, the girl served him fluffy white rice, 2 types of vegetables, a bowl of steaming hot, delicious dal, and soft, refreshing curd. He ate the meal and then could not hold back his curiosity any longer. He asked,
How did you do it?
The girl smiled and said, First, I pounded the paddy and got a lot of rice. Then I took the husk to the village dweller who needs it for his work. He gave me money in return, with which I bought the vegetables and the oil. Then, since there was more rice than could be eaten by one person, I sold the rest and got the curd and some ghee. It took me little time to cook it all, and then your meal was ready. Yashodhar was now amazed. Quickly he revealed who he was, the son of the country's richest man. But the girl was not impressed. She stood back, folded her arms, looked him in the eye and said, You may want to marry me, but I don't want to marry you. Look at the state of your horses and your poor servant. Did you think about them and feed them properly when you were traveling? I think not. You asked me to cook only for you. What about them? You need to learn some manners and kindness before you can even think of marrying me. An ashamed Yashodhar went back home empty-handed. Over the next few months, he mended his ways and one day arrived at the girl's hut on foot. There, he humbly asked her father for her hand. The girl looked at his face, now shorn of arrogance. She also noticed the love in his gaze and agreed. Yashodhar and his wife looked after their large business with intelligence, compassion, and honesty for many, many years. So friends, this story tells us to believe in the person's values than only in the person's financial status. Though the girl was staying in the hut, but she wanted her man to be kind and compassionate than only being rich. And I hope that you enjoyed this story. I will come up with a new story next Friday. Till then, you please take care. Jai Hind.